All right, this is for sentencing, correct?
It is, Your Honor. Yes, it's a PSI.
All right, who's the prosecutor on Annette Idrago?
PSI, you guys.
Is this criminal trial division?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Jason, are you on this?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone, we're going to go on the record. So, counsel, if you can ask the deputies, they'll move you down there. You're welcome. And do not, as a reminder, do not approach the bench or the coordinator or the clerk when we're on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 7274, State of Texas versus Annette Idrago. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel De La Garza for the defendant.
And are you Annette Idrago?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea of guilty on November 16th. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 9 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and the state is silent on your application for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor, we're reviewing it right now, but since you're silent, I'm fine with reviewing it and go on.
All right. Defense?
I have reviewed it, Your Honor, and showed the same to my client.
All right. Any objections to the PSI report? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. The state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
We don't have any witnesses, Your Honor. I would just like to point out that Ms. Idrago's husband is in the courtroom.
Okay.
Her father is also in the courtroom. He's standing. She has a supportive family, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't think the testimony is necessary. I can argue it and it's in the PSI.
Okay.
But so we have no witnesses.
All right. Well, if you want to address with your client, because there's where it says guilt acknowledged, there's an X there, which I'm assuming guilt is acknowledged, but there is also an X that says guilt is minimized.
And I could ask you some questions, Judge.
Sure. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Annette Garcia Hidrogo.
All right, make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear, all right?
Okay.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you know you're here for sentencing today, right?
Yes.
And you pleaded guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon,
Yes, sir.
right? Now, tell the judge at the time, and it's in the PSI, we talked about it, but tell the judge at the time that this was happening, what was going through your mind?
Self-defense, Your Honor. I
And-
was simply trying to defend myself. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. And then now, since I've become your lawyer, you've looked at the evidence and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Have you realized now, do you know whether it was self-defense or not?
Yes.
And you think that it was not, or do you think it was
I
self-defense?
believe in my heart it was self-defense.
Now, do you take responsibility for what happened, though?
I do know now that it's, in my mind, in my heart, it's self-defense.
But you know now that it
But I
was,
know, yes, sir.
tell the judge that it was
I
what?
do know now.
All right, so I'm sorry, if
Yeah,
you all
I mean,
can
yeah.
slow down and one at a time.
So tell the judge whether you think now this was self-defense or whether this was illegal.
I know now it is illegal, but at the time it was self-defense.
All right, so then the question is, do you take responsibility and do you acknowledge the guilt for the aggravated assault with a
Yes,
deadly
sir, I
weapon
do.
case? Hold on, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon case. Do you acknowledge your guilt?
Yes, sir.
And what are you asking the judge to do today?
If I would please get probation. This is my first offense. I simply was scared for my life, trying to defend myself.
And tell the court, why should the judge put you on probation?
Like I said, I know now if this would never happen again.
First off, right?
Right.
Do you have a criminal history?
No, sir, I don't.
Maybe a very limited one from Hidalgo County, like a harassment or something that's on the.
none of that.
All right, everyone, one at a time. Okay, go for it.
Okay, and if you're granted probation, do you know that there's terms and conditions that come along with it?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you going to follow all those terms and
I'm
conditions?
willing to comply all the way.
Are you going to use drugs while you're on probation?
No, sir, I don't use drugs.
You don't have a history of drug
No,
use, right?
sir.
Are you going to work?
Yes, sir.
And the
Working.
PSI says that you're a caregiver, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to go back to some kind of job like that?
Yes.
Now, what if the judge says you're not able to work as a home care provider or anything like that? Are you able to find other kind of employment?
Yes, whatever is suitable for me.
Where would you go live?
My parents at the time being.
And do they live in close proximity to Miss Hernandez, Miss Tracy Hernandez?
No,
If the court orders you to stay away from the complainant in the case, would you stay away from her or would you go back to the Goodwill and
no, I have no business near her.
is there anything else that you'd like to tell the court before we stop?
Just that I'm truly deeply sorry, and I know now that all I was trying to do was defend myself. It was simply self-defense. I'm a mother of 5 kids and I'd like to go back to see my kids. I didn't see them for Christmas, Thanksgiving, or New Year's.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, any questions? All right, I do. The police report says that you were chasing her with a knife,
No,
and
ma'am.
they say that there's a video of you chasing her with a knife.
No, ma'am, I did not chase her with a knife. I was simply scared running because there was 2 women after me. Not only 1, 2.
All right, am I,
Well, Judge, I don't know really what to make of this because lots of times we can say, well, the person has a mental illness, health, issues, they're on drugs. I don't know really what to make of this other than it's a one-time kind of incident thing.
where's the video?
It's in the discovery.
Any objection to the court seeing the video? Just, if you all have it, if I could see the video?
Thanks for the time.
Sure. Because fence, and I'm being told that the video,
And I
there's a
think-
video that shows something differently.
Yes, Your Honor, but I think now she realizes it's definitely not self-defense. This is
Okay.
not a self-defense.
All right. So what I want to know is whether or not she was chasing somebody with a knife or not.
Probably I was scared, ma'am.
No, you said you were running from 2 women,
Yes, there were 2 women after me, ma'am.
but
And
the police report says that you were chasing the complainant with a knife. So were you chasing the complainant with a knife or no?
yes, to defend myself and run from, there was 2 women to defend.
If somebody's running away from you and you're chasing them with a knife, how are you defending? So if you all don't mind just stepping back a little bit while they pull up the video.
Sure.
And the court will view the video. And I'm being told that the incident occurs at the halfway mark.
Well,
All right. Counsel, any objection to the court fast forwarding?
No, Your Honor.
And who is your client, counsel?
Believe the lady with the hat.
Um,
Let me pause it. Ms. Drago,
yes, ma'am.
what are you wearing in this video? Are you the person in the black shorts?
No, ma'am.
Are you the person with the burgundy top with the blondish hair?
No, ma'am.
Are you the person in the gray shirt with blue jeans with the white hat?
I think so, yes.
And who is the person next to you?
The other lady, there were 2 ladies who approached me. I'm not sure. No, it wasn't. It was
Okay.
something else.
So are you saying you're the person with the white hat with the check and the gray top and blue jeans with the white shoes?
I believe so, Your Honor. Not sure. I can't really see. Mm.
It's going to start becoming like a scuffle,
Okay.
not a melee. So no.
I'll make sure you speak up because
Oh,
the court reporter, we're still on the record. Okay, let me, just 1 second.
See, she swung it.
All right. All right. Any questions from the state? Yes. All right, defense.
Just a real brief argument, Your Honor.
Okay.
What we're asking you to grant Ms. Idrogo's application for deferred adjudication. You saw the video, Your Honor. In her mind, it was self-defense. I certainly understand the chase and all that kind of stuff. And she now understands how it is not self-defense. Nonetheless, Judge, she definitely takes responsibility for her actions. She's asking to be supervised by the court. I think she would benefit from some anger management. And classes that help her deal with these kinds of situations and how to get herself out of these kinds of situations. So the long story short is, Your Honor, based upon her limited criminal history, her lack of drug use, the fact that she takes responsibility, we ask that you grant the application. Thank you.
Anything else you wish to say? Mr. Drago?
I just ask that God may touch your heart and understand that, like all I was asking is that if the Lord could hear me right now, he'd understand how much I repent of what happened that day. But it simply is just a self-defense in my mind, even though I know it's wrong.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court has heard all the evidence, and I want you to know that I internalize everything and I look at cases on an individual basis. The court is going to deny your application. Court will find you guilty. Court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration NIMAC number 714465, NIMAC number 723973. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Counsel. Thank you. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Judge, before we get started, Judge,
Mhm.
we were originally set for a motion to reduce his bond on the family law case, but he has filed motions to dismiss me as counsel on his cases.
All right,
So I
are
thought-
you retained or appointed?
Appointed.
All right. So, Mr. Andrade, are you hiring an attorney?
Well, if I get out, I will.
I'm sorry, what?
If I get out, I will.
All right, so we're at the point now where this is your attorney. You understand? All right, and I don't know if I've explained this to you before, but if I have, then I'm going to explain it to you again. And I want you to internalize what I'm saying, all right? So, this is me coming from my background in the legal field. I've been a defense attorney, I've been a prosecutor. And when I would have clients, and I was a defense attorney for well over 20 years, when I would have clients that I was appointed to their cases, sometimes they would get upset with me. And you know what they would get upset about? They would say, well, I want you to come see me at the jail every day. And I would tell them, look, you have a choice. I can see you at the jail every single day and not work on your case, or I can see you the way I've been seeing you, which I would always see my clients on a Saturday or Sunday. And I would see them once a week or sometimes once every 2 weeks to let them know nothing's happening with your case. I want to let you know that I still know that you're here, right? I would go to the state after reviewing the file, after talking to my client. Of course, I would always ask the state to dismiss the case, and the state would sometimes say, I'm not dismissing this case. Okay, what offer are you willing to make? And the state would make an offer. I would go to my client, I would say, this is the offer that the state has made. Then sometimes my client would get upset and say, you're doing a horrible job as my attorney. This offer is horrible. And I would tell them, look, I can't force the state to make you an offer that you want. But if there's an offer you would like me to take back to them, I will. That's called a counter offer. Sometimes I would take that offer back to them and the state would say, we're not doing this. The only thing we're doing is the offer that we've given you, right? And so sometimes my client would get angry with me and say, it's your fault that my case is not getting dismissed. It's your fault that I've been made this offer. And really, it's not. You can be upset by the offer, but your attorney can only present to you the offer that the state has made. The state can make an offer. You can think that offer is ridiculous. You can say it's ridiculous. Although I don't like when people do that because then communication breaks down. It's a simple yes or no. No, I'm not accepting this offer. What I can tell you is when attorneys are on the wheel to come up for appointments, if they are not deemed qualified to handle certain cases, they will not be appointed to that case. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when the state makes an offer, here's your choice. You can accept the offer or you can reject it and say, I'm not accepting anything. Or you can reject it and say, hey, defense attorney, I'm rejecting this offer, but this is what I'm willing to take. Then the defense will go back to the state and say, hey, he's rejecting this offer, but this is what he's willing to take. And then if the state says, no, we're sticking with our same offer, your counsel will come back to you and say, state's not changing their offers. This is it. Then guess what? You go to trial. I don't know why, as defense attorneys and as prosecutors, sometimes when people get in trouble with the law, they blame their counsel for it. You don't ever see anyone normally blaming a doctor. If they have a heart attack, they don't say, go to the doctor and say, it's your fault I had a heart attack. You need to correct this. Or if I have cancer, it's your fault I have cancer. You need to correct this. But what I've discovered in this profession, clients sometimes blame their counsel for the fact that their case has been dismissed, for the fact that they're in jail, when really it's not the counsel's fault. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not giving you another attorney. If you want to hire an attorney, you can. And if you want to hire an attorney, then, okay, this bond motion is not going to be heard today. What's going to end up happening is I'll reset you. When are you going to have an attorney?
Well, if you say I can, well, I just did.
Judge,
No, I mean, there's no, I guess I'll stick with him. If you want another attorney, then you have to retain one.
I'll stick with him.
Judge, just to be transparent, Judge, he's indicted as a habitual on his cases, so that would make it a first degree. And I only take second degrees.
Oh, well, you should start with that conversation. But I tell you what, this is what we'll do. We'll see if there's some sort of an agreement where this is not a first degree. If there is not that agreement, then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Ralph Emmanuel Delgado, who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 2672 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on April 20, 2022 for a term of 2 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Ralph Emmanuel Delgado, then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2022, June and July 2023, in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
A proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, and we have discussed it with probation. It's to deny the motion and alternate amend for access services and ISP.
That is your agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Delgado, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ralph E. Delgado.
All right, Mr. Delgado, why have you not been reporting what's going on?
Well, actually, I did report, but when I reported, because they had me signed in the day that I had left, my appointment was at 11, and my probation officer, he came out about 11:15, and I saw him, and he called a name, and I thought it was me, so I started getting up to go over there, and then he told me to sit down, So I sat back down and I sat there till like 12:15, 12:30,
All
something
right,
like
so you're saying this has happened each month because you have not reported for more than 1 month. And you haven't been, although they're not considering it, and I'm not going to take it in consideration, but it also says in the motion to revoke, you have not been submitting to drug testing. Here's the thing, both of them, the state and defense have come to an agreement to continue you. Probation obviously wants to continue to work with you. But if you're not going to be honest, and if you just want to go to the state jail facility, I'll just send you to the state jail facility and you can get help on your own. But if there's something going on in your world that is making you unsuccessful at this probation, you need to let the court know. Because there are other people that we can place in ISF. It's not unlimited. You know, we don't have unlimited space in ISF. We don't have unlimited space for people to get help with their drug issues. So if you just want to do your time, you can do your time and be done.
I'll take the probation.
All right. So why are you not being successful at probation? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The one time I didn't go on the day that he wanted me to, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And he wanted me to go from the probation officer on 90 to downtown. And I didn't get there till 4:30, and then they already quit the testing. So, but I did go the next day, but I didn't get there the day that he assigned me to.
Okay. All right. And so with regards to potential mental health, how are we going to work with that probation?
Access services, the outpatient treatment with the Center for Healthcare Services that provides case management for all mental health services.
All right. How
Whether or
long?
not you have insurance.
All right. Let me ask you this. How long will it take for them to set him up with that?
To be completely honest, I don't have a time frame. We have to send over the referral. This is something new that's been brought to our attention. But my understanding has been great success.
All right. So then this is what we will do then. I don't think, oh, and you sent the email. Thank you so much, Bashan. All right. So then this is what I want to do. I'm going to deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions to include access services through CHCS. And instead of going to state ISF, I'm going to do a jail sanction for him. And we can set up the access. Can we do that?
We didn't ask for state ISF. We asked for that ISP program,
ISP.
which is high risk.
Okay.
High risk, so that we can check on it.
How often will you be checking on him with that?
At least 1 to 2 times a month.
All right.
He'll check in more often and we'll go to his home more often.
All right. So how does everybody feel about a 2-week Bear County jail sanction so that we can get the access services set up?
State's fine with it.
Probation?
2 weeks.
2 more weeks in jail, you mean?
Yes.
Before I can be released?
Because do you have a place to stay?
Yes.
Who are you staying with?
I had just bought me a travel trailer.
And you're to provide today probation your address. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
State.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.